All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David Murphy, and I'm the president of the Marian Initiative.
My name is Harper Herzog. I am the vice president.
My name is Rafael Grotus, and I'm the director of promotion and advertising.
Thank you all for coming this evening in honor of our Blessed Mother. As you know, Our Lady bears many titles, and we have just venerated her under the title of Our Lady of Guadalupe.
And as many of you know, today we celebrate the feast under a different title, Our Lady of Las Lajas. So in honor of this feast, we find it proper to offer a quick presentation on the history, message, and importance of this particular apparition of Our Lady.
So this is the story of Our Lady of Lajas. It begins in the year 1754. Near a small rural village, a mother named Maria was walking with her daughter Rosa. We've got to put this in notes, but it happens, this is a small rural village in Colombia. And her daughter, I just said his name is Rosa, was deaf and mute. All of a sudden, as they're walking in between these two villages, a sudden and terrible rainstorm came upon them, and they fled to a nearby cave. This cave held many superstitious rumors and stories of devilry. The locals, plagued by this superstitious belief, never went into it. But fearing the worst, they entered. Maria was praying for the intercession of Our Lady of the Rosary. As they entered, they were touched on the shoulders by an unknown person. Out of fear, they ran out of the cave into the storm. A few days later, they were walking the same route, and Maria had stopped to rest. After a while, she noticed that Rosa went to play, and shortly thereafter, Maria heard Rosa shouting for the first time. She was yelling, "Mommy, there's a woman with a baby in her arms." This was the first time Rosa had ever spoken. Maria ran over to the cave, but only found Rosa. She grabbed her and ran back to the village and told the others what had happened. Most didn't believe her. But news spread, and many began to question the truthfulness of the account. A few days later, Rosa disappeared from the village without a trace. Her mother began to worry and looked for her everywhere. Eventually, she realized Rosa had gone to the cave. Maria went to the cave with great haste and discovered something amazing. Her little Rosa was kneeling before the most beautiful lady. Rosa was playing with a little child who had been let down from this beloved lady. She knew her to be none other than the Blessed Virgin Mary, with the child Jesus. Fearful of what others would say, she kept quiet about everything. A few short months later, Rosa fell with a deadly disease and perished. Maria was utterly distraught, and thinking of no other solution, brought her to the cave where the Blessed Virgin appeared. The Blessed Mother, swayed by her grief, obtained for Maria the resurrection of Rosa through her Son, our Lord Jesus Christ. Overjoyed with her daughter's perfect return to health, Maria went to the town and exclaimed the glory of the Blessed Virgin and her divine Son. The next day the townspeople went to the cave, and there for the first time beheld the image of our Blessed Mother with her divine Son, dressed in the regal clothing befit of a queen. Next to her, was St. Dominic and St. Francis of Assisi.
Many skeptics throughout the years have investigated this miraculous image that would come to be known as Our Lady of Las Lajas. But before we get to that point, we must continue our story. In 1756, after just 2 years of steady local devotion, a blind Franciscan brother, John of St. Gertrude, received his vision perfectly restored after years of complete and utter lack of ability to see. Having this miracle occurred, he wanted to have a proper chapel built on the location of the apparition after his renewed devotion was enkindled by this miracle. This led him to further increase in devotion and to work to spread the news of the apparition even further. In the year of 1951, His Holiness, Pope Venerable Pius XII, officially granted universal approval and devotion in addition to bestowing a papal coronation on the image. In 1954, the church where the apparition appeared was elevated to a minor basilica, and finally, in the year of our Lord 1965, Pope St. Paul VI proclaimed Our Lady of Las Lajas the patroness of the diocese and of the region of Ipiales.
There seems to be 5 major messages of Our Lady of Las Lajas, though a great deal of the other beautiful inferences may also be made. Firstly, Our Lady appears in regal and powerful demeanor. This can be seen as an emphasis on the queenship and authority of Our Lady, which comes from Christ, her divine Son, and flows through the Church. This leads us right into our second message. St. Dominic and St. Francis, who were present at this apparition, were the founders of the two largest religious orders in the area operating as missionaries, the Dominicans and the Franciscans. Our Lady wanted the people of Colombia to trust the religious brothers and priests and what they had to say, as they were her dear servants who talked with authority of her beloved Son's church.
The third message stems naturally from the first and second. At this time in Colombia, native superstitions were unfortunately prevalent even amongst the converted population. Our Lady's appearance in a cave, which was seen by the Colombians as a place of haunted and demonic activity, indicated that Christ and his mother are more powerful than any demonic influence and easily conquer them. Furthermore, the appointment of the Dominicans and Franciscans as loyal messengers of God was meant to encourage the natives to accept the full truth of the Catholic faith and cast off those aspects of their cultures which could not be reconciled with the truth.
Fourthly, she wanted her children to pray the rosary, as they would be protected by it, just as Rosa was in the cave. The rosary is a sword of the faithful, and it can slay any enemy. Finally, she appears as a Colombian to show the people that the love of Christ and his mother knows no bounds and is readily extended to all peoples while maintaining the sacred distinctions between nationalities.
The importance of this amazing apparition in our times is easy to see. We only must apply the messages of Our Lady to our own times and day. In short, the Blessed Virgin Mary urges all of her children to convert with all of their heart, body, mind, and soul to the one true Catholic faith, and to do so without any resistance to or dissension from the doctrines of Holy Mother Church. As we know, those who reject even one iota of the Catholic faith with full knowledge are incapable of salvation. Our Lady loves us so much, as we are her dear children, that she wants each and every one of us to come to her Son, whom she has held in her arms, both at his nativity and at his death.
By the presence of Saints Dominic and Francis, we are told to always place our trust in the Church and her ministers, not our own private judgments, as Christ and his mother are the rulers of the whole universe and have set worthy stewards over us in our superiors, particularly the priests and religious. The best way for us to stay close to God are the means that he has given us to do so. As shown by Our Lady time and time again, we must pray the rosary as often as we are able, preferably daily, for this is how we stay close to her, the saints, and Christ. Thank you for coming to the Silver Rose ceremony and this talk on Our Lady of Las Lajas.
Yes, just as Raphael was saying, thank you for coming out and listening to our little talk here. If you want to learn more about the Marian Initiative or the Knights of Columbus, come find us outside and we'll